Hi, everybody. Queen Crystal King in the building. It's been a minute since I've been over here on my channel, and I have some updates for you guys. Recently, I was hanging out in the VIP section. Shout out to Boss Lady New Jersey, and she graciously allowed me to briefly speak on the updates. And I usually don't come on this time of day, but at this particular time, it's a good time for me to do this. So I'm going to follow up with the updates on my channel. Well, I went to see the doctor last Friday. And when I talk to you guys, I tell you about the numbers where they measure if the cancer is getting smaller or if it's growing. The numbers that I started out with were good. But when I went back to the doctor, they told me that my numbers had doubled, which means that the cancer is growing. After surgery, I just want to make sure that it's understood that when I said they got it all, the surgical team did exactly what they were supposed to do. I was 100% satisfied with what the surgical team did. They saved my life. With God's permission, they saved my life. They got the amount of cancer that they saw with their naked eye. And after the surgical team left, they said, our job is done. We have it. We got it all. So after that, I had to get another test, which would make sure that everything was gone. So when I got the other test, the other CAT scan, that showed that there were microscopic particles that were still there. There's no way that the surgical team could have gotten those because you couldn't see it with the naked eye. You needed to do it under the CAT scan. So at that time, they're saying that, well, we're ready to put you on the chemo pill. And the chemo pill was half a dose, 100 milligrams. And I wasn't having too bad of side effects. I tolerated it pretty well, as a matter of fact. And it was going on 3 months that I was doing that. Well, within those 3 months, on up until this point, right now, as I'm speaking with you, the numbers doubled. And they feel that the pill at half a dose was not strong enough to do what needed to be done for the microscopic particles that they saw. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. Sometimes when I talk, I get air in my chest, so I have to keep stopping. Um, so what they did was they took me off of the chemo pill altogether. I thought they were just going to double it so it could be stronger, but they decided that it would be safer for me if they would take me off of it altogether. So I'm waiting right now for approval from my insurance. Um, they're going to put me back on the IV chemo, which is what I did not want to do. But because I trust God, And I believe that this team that I have, the prayer that I prayed before I decided to go with this team, I believe that everything is going in the right direction, but it's just a little confusing to me. And did I understand? Right now, I'm not on any chemo medicine. I'm not on anything. The insurance said that the two medicines that they ordered for me, one is a chemo and one is something that's going to stop the growth of the cancer. One of the medicines they're going to approve, and one of them they're not going to approve. So it has to be entered again so that they will approve it this time. So that's what I'm waiting for right now, for them to approve it. Um, because I'm not on any chemo right now, um, it's concerning to me, but I've seen God work many, many miracles. And when I got off of that operating table, that was definitely one of them. So I believe that He'll continue to carry me, He'll continue to cover me until I'm ready to start back with my medication again. I know it seems a little confusing. It's confusing to me sometimes as well. Um, as I look into the different medications and as I look into the different cases of individuals who have survived the type of cancer that I'm going through, some people have had to take medicine for years. Some, you have the treatment and it's completely gone and you don't have to go back for treatment. In my particular case, uh, what I'm dealing with is something that I never knew I had. Uh, it is a gene that I carry, and unless God takes it from me, that's just the way it's going to be. And I believe that God has my best intentions always. He never left me nor forsake me. So they found out that it was two genes that I carry from both sides of my family. And the results were not always the best. But I believe that whichever way that God chooses for it to go, it will be the best for me. I never lost faith, but sometimes I just get a little tired and I get a little winded. And I do wonder sometimes how come these things keep happening to me, you know. But this is one thing that I've grown to accept, and that's God's will. I may not understand it, but I do accept it. And because there are so many different treatments that are available to me, and so many different treatments that my insurance will cover, I still feel hopeful. But my first instinct, the very first thing that came to mind was to make sure that every single day I thank God for what He has given me, what He has taken away. I have a beautiful, supportive family. Uh, I have subscribers that genuinely care, and I have friends, and I've got some really positive people that check on me on a daily basis to make sure that I'm good. So right now, I just have to be extremely careful because I'm not being treated for anything right now until the medicine gets approved. So it's something that I know will be okay, but every now and then, I just panic a little bit, just a little bit. But I'm still going to take you guys on my journey with me. I said that I would, and I will. Um, I don't want to feel like I'm giving you mixed messages because at one time I said, okay, it's gone. I'm good. I'm good. This is my last IV treatment. I'm good. But sometimes, things are in remission and then they come out of remission. So that's what I wanted to make sure that I explained. Um, I'm explaining it to the best of my understanding, and I repeat it to my doctors the way I'm understanding that they're saying, and it's correct. It's correct. So we want to get a hold of it because we don't want it to become so aggressive that I would have to have surgery again. I really don't want that. Um, when they were checking to make sure that everything was gone after surgery, they also found a hernia, and they're not going to bother with the hernia right now because the last thing they want to do right now is to cut me. And I'm relieved of that. Uh, the 6th, no, the 5th of November will be exactly 6 months since surgery. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm able to do a lot more things for myself. And I don't have to have someone with me around the clock. I'm able to spend some periods of time by myself. I still have a caregiver, which is my best friend. Um, we've been friends for 29 years, and she knows me inside and out. I have two beautiful sons who love and adore me. I have grandchildren and great grandchildren. And I do realize that I don't have to go through this alone. But there are just some days where it just feels kind of lonely. And the only reason why I'm admitting this is because it's the truth. I don't allow these little pockets of doubt to stay in me because I feel like they can manifest themselves. And I don't want to ever be without faith in God. So I do have faith in God. Every now and then, I do get a little confused and, a little discouraged sometimes. But, there's always that pick me up. There's always someone, somewhere, a song, a situation, a memory, things like that that will bring me back on my square. And it allows me to get through another day. So a lot of times when I'm on a StreamYard with my girls, I feel safe. I feel I feel like there's one side of me, one on the other side of me, and it just gives me courage when I do things over here on my channel. Since I don't drop links or anything like that, I don't have anyone up here with me while I'm doing my videos, but it's more or less like a spoken journal that I do over here. And sometimes I can interact with others and sometimes I don't. But it's a little harder for me to pull it over here on this channel. But I want my subscribers to know that even if it's one subscriber or 1,000 subscribers, I just want you to know that I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Every time that you come over and say hello, every comment that you leave, every prayer that you include me in, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I do, as well as my family and friends. So I'm not shutting my channel down. I just won't be over here as much. But when I do, it won't be that long. But I'm not going to leave holes in my journey because this is where I am. I'm eating enough for 3 to 4 people. Uh, Maybe it's because I know the seriousness of what's going on with me. Um, I have people telling me that, you know, I'm at a good weight, I'm fine, just go ahead and just, live my life. But I'm not used to being this small. So I'm grateful that I'm still here to tell you the story. I'm grateful that I can tell my own story. But it's just something that I just have to work on. Eventually, I'm going to have to get surgery to remove some skin because I lost over half my body weight. And I'm a little nervous about that. I'd like to put that off as long as possible. But again, I have to remember I'm a daughter of a king. I'm a daughter of a king. God will always be the head of my life. And he's not going to put me in any danger. And I trust him. So when the time comes for me to do that, I will be even smaller, but I know that I'm covered. I'm smothered and I'm covered. So I believe that's all I wanted to talk about. Um, yeah, I believe that's all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to make sure that you guys understood that I wasn't sending you a mixed message. And that's another thing. When I'm talking, sometimes my jaw gets really tight, and it's something. What do you call that? TMJ, where your jaw kind of locks a little bit on the side, and with the medicines and things, sometimes I get like sore spots, sore areas in my mouth. It's kind of like a ulcer, but they go away but they come back and they go away and they come back. So I don't feel like what I'm saying is clear enough, like I'm slurring, but I'm not. I'm just trying to pronounce my words so that I'm clearly understood. And it gets a little difficult, but I'm always eating ice. I'm always chewing gum, you know, uh, making sure that my mouth doesn't get too dry. But make no mistake, there are a lot of weak people that walk this earth, but I'm not one of them. I don't know many people who could carry the load that I carry on a daily basis. I don't know many. So if I'm somewhat subdued or I back off a bit, or you only see me in certain places doing certain things, it doesn't mean that I'm not watching and that I'm not listening. I just have to put me first. And that's what I'm doing. I'm putting me first so that my sons can live carefree. They don't have to wonder every 5 minutes, is mommy okay? Did she fall? Did she eat? You know, what does she need? I'm okay. I'm okay. There are just some things that, that have to be tweaked a bit, you know, so that we can get a treatment plan that I can, that will fit me. And the main thing I love about my surgical team and my doctors, they put me first. You have some doctors who want to try to make a name for themselves, and keep pushing the medicine and keep pushing the medicine and keep, taking your body to the brink where you can't handle it anymore. And when that IV chemo was depleting me too fast, they took the last treatment off and started preparing me for the next hurdle that I have to jump. And I don't know how high, but I'm going to clear it. I'm going to jump it. I'm not going to give up. I want to thank everyone for all the beautiful, beautiful words of kindness and wisdom that you've given me. Uh, I've even had people just out of the clear blue sky bless me with a cash app saying that they were just thinking about me. Um, I get phone calls, just to hear my voice. I get texts and they're texting me, asking me, am I okay? Sending me uh, encouraging, what do you call them? I'm not sure what you call them. It's like the memes that talk about different situations, like how was your day and hope you're feeling better and things like that. Um, it all helps. It all helps. And the main cornerstone in my life is my mother. That's that's who keeps it all together. And I want to be that cornerstone for my sons and my grandchildren. So I appreciate all her love, all her prayers. my sisters and my brothers. I have a very special person in my life who makes sure that if I need anything, or I don't have to physically exhaust myself, he's there for me, and I appreciate him. I just thank God for the circle that he's put around me, a circle of protection, a circle of love, a circle of prayer. I'm covered. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully, I've answered the questions that I need to answer. And hopefully, I've answered the questions that I've needed to answer. If there's something else that you would like to know and I haven't answered it, you can leave it in my comment section and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for listening. Love, peace, and chicken grease.